Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the last part of trigonometry 1. We've done 1 to 13, and now this is what? Part 14. Okay? So, and this is trigonometry graph. Okay, this is a theoretical part in a very, very, very standard examination. So please pay attention to this. We're doing this in the next 30 or 12 minutes so that you can understand what we mean generally by trigonometric graph. Okay, so now look at this very well. We want to draw the graph of y equals sine theta plus 10 degree. I know I've given something related to this as part of the question, so pay attention so that you can understand it. Where the value of theta ranges from minus 90 degree less than equals to theta less than equals to 90 degree. That is, you can pick your value of theta within this range. I've told you before, this is an inequality sign, less than equals to, less than equals to. That is, I can say my theta can be minus 90, my theta can be minus 80, my theta can be minus 70, my theta can be minus 60, my theta can be minus 50, like that, up to 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, till 90 degree. That is the meaning of this, range of inequality. So now, look at the graph very well. This is just an example of how graph looks like in your normal graph book, okay? Each of those boxes is 5 lines, okay? And from this now, I'm just representing my 5 lines to the what? 10, okay? So if I want to get each of this line, that is how you draw your graph, because if you understand this graph very well, that is a very big questions that you can answer in your theoretical part, either in your classes or your SS1, SS2, SS3, or perhaps in your exams, GCE, SSCE, NECO, and things like that. We are getting to a very, very serious part. So each of this line, I'm representing it with 10 lines. That is 5 lines equals 10. So if I want to get my line here, I'll just say 10 divided by what? 5. Okay, this is my 10. From here to here is 10. And I have 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 10 divided by 5 is what? 2. So this shows that each of this line is 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40. That is exactly how you can get each line. I hope that is very, very clear. So moving on to the next one. Okay, we've understand how we do this. Now look at here. This is my y-axis. Then if you come down, this is 0. You have your 0 origin here. Okay, so let me even put it there so that you can understand that this is 0 origin. Okay, so you have your 0 origin here. Then anything below 0, I've mentioned this, is what? Negative y-axis. Okay, so now this is your what? Your x-axis. All your x-axis is this value. All your x-axis here, if you look at this very well, okay, all your x-axis, this is your x-axis here, okay, which is your x-axis. So all that value, this is y, this is your x. So all this value, your x-axis, stays in your x-axis. And we also have x here, that is positive x-axis. Anything below 0 is negative. That is why you have minus 10, minus 20, minus 30, minus 40, minus 50. So each of the line here, of course, you know, according to what I said, is what? Minus 2, minus 4, minus 6, minus 8, minus 10, minus 12, minus 14, minus 16, minus 18, minus 20, minus 22, minus 24, minus 26, minus 28, minus 30. So it's very simple. It's just simple. Just understand it very well. You don't need a whole 1 hour class or a whole 2 hours class for you to understand graph in trigonometry. Now, come back to the table. This is the table that we have here. This is table for y equals sine theta plus what? 10 degree. Don't miss this degree. okay, because you're dealing with trigonometry. If you miss this degree, you will miss everything that you're doing, okay. And even here too, while you're doing your table, don't forget your degree, your degree, your degree, your degree, your degree, your degree. Always put your degree so that they can know that you are working with what, with a trigonometric graph, okay. So when the examiner is marking it, there'll be no deductions, you get your full mark, okay. So now, see from here, now you have your what, theta plus what, 10 degree. What does that mean? I have my theta already. They're giving you your theta. What's your theta? Your theta ranges from what, minus 90, okay. Your theta ranges from minus 90 to what, to plus 90. I can pick any value I like. Sometimes if you reduce, you say, okay, I want to choose 10, 10, 10, 10. It's okay, it's fine. I can pick any value within that range. All you just need that, make sure you stay within the range given to you. So if you look at the table now, if you look at the table for this is what? You have your theta. They're giving your theta to be what? Minus 50 degree. Now look at this very well. If your theta, your first theta, your theta 1 equals minus 50 degree, you can press your calculator here. It's permitted. So it means that theta plus what, 10 degree equals minus what, 50 degree plus what, 10 degree. Very simple. I've explained this while I started my mathematics content, okay, at the beginning, how you can maneuver minus to plus, minus something to plus something. What will it give you? But since you have your calculator, is permitted, you can use your calculator, okay. So minus 50 plus 10 degree, this one will give you what, minus 40 degree, okay. This is higher than this, so this is what, minus 40 degree. So it means that from here, okay, from what I was saying, now you know your value for theta already. If theta is equals to minus 50, okay, what am I trying to say? Anywhere you see theta, put what, minus 50. That is the meaning. Anywhere you see theta, put what, minus 50. And I've simplified the table. First, you pick this one, okay. The first one you need to do so that you won't make mistake. Pick this one, and that is what is here. That is what you have here, okay. That's what you have here. You pick theta plus 10 degree. First, do that computation so that you won't make mistake. Then second, you will now pick this one, the whole of this, okay, which is what is my y, and that is what I'm showing here, okay. You can see it here. So for the first one, which is theta plus 10 degree, is this theta plus 10 degree, okay. When my theta is minus 50, just put your theta to be what, minus 50 plus 10 equals what, minus 40 degree, okay. Minus 50 plus 10 is what, minus 40 degree. So when theta, that's theta 2, is equals to minus 30, what is my value? Minus 30 degree. So this implies I have what, or let me do it like this. This implies I have minus what, 30 degree plus what, 10 degree. So that will give me what, minus 20 degree. So it means this one is what? So it means theta plus 10 degree minus 10 plus plus 50, minus 50 degree plus 10 degree, that will, which is this one here, is minus 40 degree, okay. So I have minus 20 degree here, okay. The same thing applies, follow the same method. I'm only just doing this just for you to see how you will get the value in the table. So when my theta is minus 10, look at it. When theta, that's theta 3, minus 10 degree, that implies you have minus 10 degree plus what, 10 degree. That is what, 0. So it means this one is what, 0. Okay, the answer there is 0. So for theta 4, which is equals to what, 0 degree. So that implies you have what, 0 degree plus 10 degree. So it means this one is what, 10 degree. So it means the answer here is what, 10 degree. So don't forget, people always make mistake here and they think the graph is complicated. It's not. Okay, this is 10 degree here. So from here, you can now continue for theta 4. Look at theta 5 rather. Theta 5 is what? 10 for 10 within the range of 90. 10 degree. That implies I can have 10 degree plus what? Another 10 degree. That is what? 20 degree. That's 10 plus 10. You have your what? 20 degree. Very simple. So the next one is what? 50 plus 10. That is what? 60 degree. The next one is what? 30 plus what? Plus 10. That is what? So that is what? 30 plus 10 is what? 40 degree. Very simple. Very, very simple. Now you've gotten your theta plus 10 to be minus 40, minus 20, 0, 10, 20, 60, and 40. Okay, since you've gotten your value of theta to be that, then what do you do next? The next thing is now to find the sine of minus 40, sine of what? Minus 20, sine of what? 0, sine of what? 10. That is the meaning. Sine of what? 60, sine of what? 40. So that is where you will need your calculator greatly here. So if you press the value or on your calculator, on my own calculator, if you press the value of what? Sine of, so if you press your calculator very well, if you press the sine of what? Minus 40. So for minus 40, if you press your calculator, you understand, sine minus 40, you get something about 0 point minus 0.6. Okay, so here we are getting to about 12 minutes already. I don't want it to be too lengthy. Okay, I'll do 14a and 14b. So in our next part, which is 14b, okay, we'll make this one as what? 14a. Okay, in our next one, which is 14b, we'll conclude this part so that we can plot the graph and you can get the understanding of what trigonometric graph is all about. It's very simple and it's straightforward. Cheers.